The women are in the books as they pick up the big win over Glendale. Now it's Steve Shields and the Chandler-Gilbert men's basketball team. They are feeling the urgency. The team in a must-win situation as they run and gun against the Glendale Gauchos. The second part of our Hoops doubleheader straight ahead right here from the Coyote Center on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network. Good evening or good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joe Pequeno. So glad you can join us. The Coyotes are finally fully healthy and playing their best basketball of the year. The squad has rolled off 2 straight wins and are coming off maybe their best game of the year with the 82-55 win over Scottsdale. Carter Crabb with 21, Mason Miller with 17, Trey McKinney, Bo DeLinzak, and King Turner with 11 apiece. Coyotes shot 50%, a season high. 69% from 3, hitting 9 of 13. Today they get another crack at the Gauchos, who they lost to earlier this month, 81-79. Noah Miller with 17, McKinney with 16, and Javen Price with 13 in the loss. Glendale with balanced scoring, getting 22 from Stephen Miller, 19 from Kenny White, and 16 from Malachi Gonarka. Standings are so tight in the region. D2 region, Pima rolling at 11-0. South Mountain is 7-3. Glendale, Mesa, Scottsdale, all 5-5, and Chandler-Gilbert on the outside looking in at 3-7. So this is a big one on the Coyotes' home floor. They got to take care of business. Coyotes led by Javen Price at 12 points. King Turner and Mason Miller at 10 apiece. Linzak and Carter Crabb with 8 each, and Trey McKinney with 7, and Ollie Hinder with 6. Coyotes average 75 points, shoot 45%, 26% from 3, 42 rebounds, 11 assists, and shoot 65% from the line. Glendale, Stephen Miller, number 1 scorer in the conference at 19 points, 8 rebounds, is 4th in the league. Kenny White, 18 points, 3rd leading scorer in the league. Malachi Garnica, 10 points. Caleb Conley, 9 points, 5th in field goal percentage at 63%, and Yoel Lamb, 8 points. Ty Gibbs leads the league in assists with 133, averaging 6 a game. Glendale averages 92 points, shoots 50%, 38% from 3, 68% from the line, with 37 rebounds and 19 assists. Busy day in the conference. Central Arizona hosting Eastern Arizona. Yavapai hosting the College of Southern Nevada. South Mountain hosting Scottsdale Community College. Arizona Western hosting Cochise. Mesa and Pima in a battle in Mesa. And of course you got Chandler-Gilbert and Glendale right here. Starters for Glendale. It's going to be number 2, Ty Gibbs, the conference's leading assist artist in the league, followed by number 4, Malachi Garnica, former Bronco from Brophy College Prep. Number 5, Kenny White, St. Mary's product, 3rd leading scorer in the conference. Number 21, Stephen Miller from Liberty in the West Valley, the leading scorer in the conference at 19 a game. And number 32, Caleb Conley from Boulder Creek. Your starters for Chandler-Gilbert. Javen Price. And he's going to be joined by Trey McKinney. Javen played his high school ball at Mountain Point. Trey McKinney from Perry. Carter Crabb. Nice outing in the victory against Scottsdale. Also gets the start. Ollie Hinder, the product of Coronel del Sol, one of the leading blockers in the conference, and Mason Miller provides all kinds of electric hops with that great electric first step, which is as good as any you'll see in the conference. Ken Krill, the head coach of Glendale. Steve Shields, the head coach of Chandler-Gilbert. And we are about to get this one underway. Coyotes in a dire need situation. Cannot afford to slip up here. They feel that they have got things going. They have righted the ship. They're getting healthy at the right time, and they feel more than capable of making this stretch run. And here we go. Hinder and Stephen Miller will jump it. And Glendale and Caleb Conley come down with it, and Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs won't shoot a lot, but he loves to dish. Dishing is his pleasure. Shot is up from 3, and that is rolled in and out by Malachi Garnica. Here comes Javen Price. Trey McKinney out on that left arc. Works it back to Price. Coyote setting up the half-court offense. No Miller swings it to Carter. Carter, couple dribbles up the top of the arc. Kicks it to Javen. Javen will work the left side of the arc. Now it's No Miller, guarded by Kenny White. Up top, No Miller, McKinney. McKinney runs into Garnica. Down and low. Off the baseline. Carter Carab. 3 on the shot clock. Carter's got to fire it up, and Carter, back iron, won't go. Worked, and Stephen Miller steps out, and Chandler-Gilbert survives the first onslaught of the physicality off the boards. And a new shot clock for Chandler-Gilbert. Baseball update, they lost the first contest, 7-6 to Eastern Arizona home court or home turf on the diamond. Now it's 4-4 in the fourth in the second half of a doubleheader. Carter underneath, loses the handle, and Carter steps out. So Glendale answers defensively. These two longtime rivals. Part of the Region 1 D2 side of the Arizona Community College Athletic Conference. Of course, Kenny White, one of these sharpshooters from 3. Can't leave him open. If you do, this is what he's going to do. That time it spins off. Ollie Hinder gets thrown to the turf. It's going to be foul on Caleb Conley, and that's going to be Caleb's first. Caleb, top 5 in the conference in field goal percentage, over 60%. That's just insane this time of year. Coyotes lost the first matchup to Glendale, 81-79. Conference standings, as we mentioned, ridiculously tough. Good passing by the Coyotes. No Miller cannot connect down in the blocks. Coyotes coming off that impressive 82-55 victory over Scottsdale. And Carter Carab leading the way with 21 points, and No Miller had 17. Coyotes with 5 players in double figures. McKinney, Valenczak, and King Turner with 11 apiece. Driving and kicked up top. Ty Gibbs rarely shoots, and when he does, he's got the potential to knock it, and he does. And an early 3-point lead for Glendale. First half just underway. The second half of the doubleheader from Chandler-Gilbert. Javen Price to Trey McKinney. McKinney guarded by Ty Gibbs. A little mismatch on the side. They work it to Carter Carab. Carter sees a double team. Works it back up top to No Miller. Javen Price, 8 on the shot clock. Carter sets the screen for Javen. Javen trying to slice through. And good defense, and that's going to be a shot clock violation by Chandler-Gilbert. Good defense by the Gauchos, packing it underneath. 17:35 remaining. A 3-0 Glendale lead. First matchup, they won 81-79, outscoring the Coyotes 48-37 in the second half. After the Coyotes dominated the first frame 42-33. Swung around, Gibbs and King Turner on Ty Gibbs. Ollie Hinder coming out of the post. They swing it, they kick it. Stephen Miller. Miller fade away, and Miller around the rim. No Miller with the rip. No Miller up the floor. In the lane and spin move, and Mason No Miller dazzling to the rack. You can't teach that. You can only watch it and drop your jaw. Glendale working it on the other end. Stephen Miller to Ty Gibbs. Gibbs will kick it. Kenny White in the corner, and White connects from 3. Kenny White is a dazzling 3-point shooter at almost 39%. And Kenny White, his first bucket of the game. 6-2 Glendale. Ollie locked up in the corner. McKinney will kick it to Carter. Carter driving baseline. Carter strong underneath, and he'll shoot a pair. The foul underneath on Glendale. That's going to be on the Gauchos, Malachi Garnica, the freshman from Brophy. Carter at the line. 63% free throw shooter. Couple dribbles, and Carter lets it go and hits the first. Can't stress enough, this one paramount for Chandler-Gilbert to get this victory. Standing so tight, they take care of business here, and winnable games next week. Of course, they got Phoenix College on the road. Phoenix College is struggling, and then a big one against South Mountain. And Javen Price back in. And we'll talk about the standings in just a second, as we'll dial them up on the Arizona Community College athletic site. The beauty of bringing your computer with you. All things are at your fingertips. Gibbs, King Turner. Gibbs in a lane. He'll kick it out. Good head fake. Stopping and popping. Roll won't go. DeLinzak with the rebound. Javen Price up the floor. Price picked up immediately. They dump it down to DeLinzak. DeLinzak, McKinney. And McKinney is going to get called. It looked like he was going to get called for the offensive. Instead, it's going to go against Kenny White on the blocking foul. The Glendale bench exploding. Ken Carrillo and his coaching staff thought it was on Trey McKinney. Javen Price off the inbounds. Javen needing someone to throw it to. DeLinzak is there. DeLinzak, couple dribbles, lost the handle. Here comes Ty Gibbs. Gibbs full throttle. Ken White in the corner. Kenny White, little on the back end. Loose ball, put back, won't go. Ulrich Jamerson tried to float it in and could not. Javen Price and Gibbs. Two sophomores battling. Now it's King Turner on that left side against Malachi Garnica. Off the screen. King Turner can't fight off of it. McKinney, couple dribbles on the high arc. Javen Price, 6 on the shot clock. Kicks it, DeLinzak, why not for 3? Off the side, McKinney's there. And they're gonna call the offensive foul on Trey McKinney on the push-off. And we got a media timeout. And as we look at the standings, as we can kind of see things through, Pima 22-0. Brian Peabody asked him if this is his best team or maybe better than last year. He says this team is better defensively. Last year, they were better offensively. They're coasting, 22-0, 11-0 in conference. South Mountain, 7-3. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Glendale, 5-5 in the last 10, 5-5 in conference. Mesa, 6-4 in the last 10, 5-5 in the last 10. Scottsdale, 5-5. Of course, Chandler-Gilbert blew them out the other night. They are 4-6 in their last 10. Chandler-Gilbert has won 2 in a row. They're 3-7. So you take care of business here, and all of a sudden, you got Phoenix College on Saturday. Make that Phoenix College on Wednesday, South Mountain next Saturday, and then things start getting interesting in the conference for Steve Shields and his team. But first up, a Gauchos team that averages 92 points a game. They can flat out stroke it. And when you're talking about some of the best offensive teams in the conference, well, you got Pima averaging 110, then it's Glendale, second best in the conference at 92. Defensively, Glendale, maybe that's their Achilles heel. They're giving up 75 points a game, while Chandler-Gilbert's only giving up 62. The cut inside, and Stephen Miller misses at the rim. Carter Crabb up the floor. Right there waiting for him was Ulrich Jamerson. Now it's Javen Price, guarded by Garnica. They dump it down. DeLinzak in the corner. Kobe Mott, head fake. Kobe in the lane will pull up. Misses the short jumper. Ty Gibbs the other way. Gibbs works that left side, now works it up top. Kenny White. Kenny White, sizzling Second three, 9-4, Glendale. Coyotes can't afford to give Kenny White any space. It's like a great striker in soccer. You leave them open, they'll crush you. King Turner from three. The King off the mark. Pulled down by Jamerson. Gibbs quickly up the floor. Works it to Jamerson. Stephen Miller off the glass. Won't go. Miller hustling back and strong and one. Stephen Miller just owned that basket right there. And the foul is going to be on Delinzak, his first. Stephen Miller at the free throw line where he shoots 65%. Shot at the three-point play. Glendale coming out up to an 11-4 lead. And this is a team, when they get cooking, they are hard to stop. So for Steve Shields and his team, as Miller connects on the three-point play, 8-point lead, they've got to start dialing some things in offensively. And the double team on Javen Price almost leads to a turnover. Now in the game, Memphis James for Glendale and Caleb Conley were there on the double team on Javen Price. Kobe Mott off the sidelines to No Miller. Mason, one bucket in this game. Mott quickly, and they're going to get the clock in order. And the shot clock, as they redirect traffic on that, should be at 24 seconds. Javen Price off the inbounds, guarded by Memphis James. McKinney up top. Trey will work it to No Miller. No Miller gets the screen from Ollie Hinder. Hinder cutting low. Ollie going strong. Ollie banks it in. Love to see that from Ollie. Strong move and be hard and impose your will. You've got the size, Ollie. Impose your will. 12-6. Kenny White. No Miller on him. Another opportunity, and Kenny White. Another three. 3 threes for Kenny White in the first half. In the first 7 minutes. 15-6. Kobe Mott, Ty James. Ty Gibbs, that is. No Miller. Surveying the floor. Kicks it. Kobe Mott dumps it to Javen. Javen down low. Worked in the corner. McKinney. Back to Javen. Javen. Shot clock winding down. Floater, and that falls in for Javen Price. 15-8 on the other side. Gibbs has Ken Carrillo yelling at his team to get things in order. Kenny White thought about it. Kicks it to Stephen Miller. Miller, couple dribbles. Good moves underneath. Ty Gibbs will launch it from three. And Gibbs, no good. McKinney outworks Stephen Miller. Price, right side. Ollie Hinder down the blocks. Cutting, No Miller, and No Miller banks it in. Good recognition by Ollie as Mason and the Coyotes active with movement. Conley thought about it. Kenny White dumps it down low to Conley. Worked to Memphis James, and James swatted away. Conley's there, goes back up, and Conley, part of that 60-plus field goal percentage, one of the tops in the conference with that little short putback. Javen Price, top of the lane. Kobe Mott, now Javen, swung over. No Miller. Kenny White, right in his mug. Kick down low. McKinney underneath. And Trey muscles past Stephen Miller. His first bucket. Ty Gibbs on the other side. Kenny Miller lost the handle on the court. And the Coyotes, a tie-up situation. Possession arrow in favor of Chandler-Gilbert. King Turner coming in. Timeout on the floor. 17-12. The Coyotes are coming to life. Gauchos with a 5-point lead. We'll take a timeout. Time to feed your hunger.
What up, homies? I'm Angel. My dad started Burrito Express back in 1995 with me and my brother slanging burritos out of the kitchen of our house. Today we have 8 Valley locations where you can count on authentic recipes, good prices, and a comfortable atmosphere. I've always said the burrito is the perfect food. You don't need a plate, fork, or napkin. You grab one and off you go. Come by one of our Burrito Express locations and try you a burrito created by the man himself, Cameron Scatterboo.
Chandler-Gilbert, the Coyote center. Coyotes with a 5-point deficit, trailing Glendale. And we talk about him, can't say enough. Kenny White, flat out dazzling, long range shooter. Played his high school ball at St. Mary's, a sophomore, 5'11", 175, and he's on the floor. As soon as he walks in, he can hit it from any range. And he's got 3 first-half threes, leading the Gauchos with a 5-point lead. On the other side, Mason No Miller with 4. Buckets by Hinder, McKinney, Price, and a couple free throws from Carter Crabb. A good thing for the Coyotes, seeing production throughout the lineup, and that's what they need down this stretch run. If they're going to make any kind of run, they need to get balanced scoring up and down. Hinder, McKinney, Noel Miller, King Turner, Jamin Price, Conley, Gibbs, Memphis James, Kenny White. Also in the contest is Anthony Maciel from Central High. King Turner to Ollie. Ollie lost the handle for a split second. Ollie will work it to Noel Miller. 13 on the shot clock. Kicked in the corner. King thought about it, gets called for the travel. First step. Now in the game for Glendale. White and James comes out. Back in is Malachi Garnica as well as Kai Hogan. Hogan also played at Brophy with Malachi Garnica. Former teammates downtown and for Brophy Nation. Garnica swings it. Kai Hogan works it to Conley. Gibbs. Tied up. Hogan. Shot is up from the outside, and that shot is blistered by Anthony Maciel. Maciel, a good look, and his first touch, and his first touch is a good one. 7-point lead for Glendale. Ty Gibbs on Javen Price. King Turner swung around to Noel Miller. Back to King in the flashy orange shoes. Javen Price, the King will launch it, and the King off the mark, pulled down by Maciel. Here comes Glendale. Ty Gibbs racing up the floor immediately. Kai Hogan. Conley to Hogan. The give and go. And that trickles out of bounds. And it's going to be Chandler-Gilbert basketball. And Maciel kind of looking at the referees, wondering how it's not their basketball. Carter Crabb back in. King Turner out. 19-12 Glendale lead. So far, Chandler-Gilbert doing a nice job. This is a Glendale team that scores in bunches, putting up 92 points. Second leading scoring offense in the league behind Pima, who puts up $110. The give and go, Ollie, and Ollie can't connect at the rim. Conley the other way. Gibbs kicked in the corner, worked to the left side. Kai Hogan won't go. Ollie outworks Maciel. Javen Price. Javen surveying the floor. Javen pulls it back out behind the arc. Hinder with Maciel in his mug, back to Javen. Gibbs coming out. Gibbs working off the screen. Ollie Hinder, the give and go. Underneath, McKinney up top for 3. And Trey, another triple for Trey. Trey with 5 points. 19-15. Coyotes within 4. Conley getting tied up for a split second. Kai Hogan works it to Maciel. Maciel. Garnica will launch it. And Garnica, smooth touch. His first bucket of the game. 22-15. Javen Price as Stephen Miller is about to check back in. No Miller to Javen. Coyotes kicking it around. McKinney. No Miller. Carter on that block. No Miller. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense by Maciel. Conley with the steal. Here comes Gibbs. Gibbs will work it. Kai Hogan, the head fake, and launches it off the side of the iron. And it's going to be off. Caleb Conley could not control the basketball on the baseline, and Chandler-Gilbert has possession. Stephen Miller back in. Caleb Conley played his high school ball in Boulder Creek, up the 17. Checks out. Coyotes down 7, 22-15. Doing a nice job as Kenny White about to check back in. Hinder guarded by Gibbs. That's a mismatch of size, proportion in a big way. No Miller as Hinder now down in the blocks. McKinney on that baseline. Almost lost the handle. Javen. 5 on the shot clock. Javen, couple dribbles. Will have to turn around, and that won't go. And they're going to call Carter Carab out on the baseline. 22-15. We got a timeout on the floor. Under 8 minutes left. Coyotes trailing by 7. As Steve Shields will talk it over with his team, and Coach Ken Carrillo will do the same. Feed your hunger right here on Burrito Express timeout. Baseball update from the Diamond. Chandler-Gilbert lost the first game to Eastern Arizona 7-6. They split a doubleheader. In the second game of the Twin Bill, it's the Gila Monsters with a 7-4 lead in the top of the fourth. And you've got the dynamic twin tandem on the call, doing a great job, the two freshmen and Austin Muir and Nash McLean. As Mario Chutanik, the women's coach, works his way back on the floor. 7:59 left in this first half. Kenny White back on the court along with Malachi Garnica, Stephen Miller, and Anthony Maciel and Ty Gibbs. Javen Price, Ollie Hinder, Trey McKinney, Mason No Miller, Carter Carab on the floor for Chandler-Gilbert. Gauchos won the first matchup, 81-79. Maciel works it to Gibbs. Javen trying to get the steal from behind. Kenny White, elbow won't go. Kenny White tries to put it back, kicks it out. Gibbs, Garnica will launch it, and Garnica off the front end. Ripped by Javen. Good defensive sequence. A lot of rebounds by Glendale in that stretch. Javen with Gibbs right there. Hinder coming out of the post. McKinney asking for it, and they're going to call the foul on Maciel. That's going to be his first. 22-15. Javen surveying the floor off the inbounds. Javen looking, got No Miller. Mason underneath, and Mason floats it in. Mason No Miller with 6 points. 22-17. Gibbs, Stephen Miller worked over to Garnica. Garnica, top of the block, pounding it down low on the backdoor feed, and Maciel misses the bunny that Ken Carrillo could not believe. Javen Price, dribble behind the back, pulls it out to Ollie. Ollie telling No Miller to go down low. Carter and Javen, as Javen directing his offense. Carter in the corner. McKinney, 7 on the shot clock. Javen will launch it from 3. And that's no good. Stephen Miller, Gibbs, the other way. Gibbs working off the screen. Garnica, Malachi Garnica. Kiss off the glass, and that was some pretty touch by Malachi Garnica. He's got 5 points, 24-17. Winding down to 6 minutes left in his half. Garnica on Price. Worked over. Down low, and Carter Crab misses the bunny. Right now, Coyotes can't afford to misfire from point blank range. Kenny White, sure. He's not afraid, and Kenny White strokes his 4-3 of the first half. And that lead went from 5. But just like that, our crack staff of millions on it. We're like Verizon. We got people, we're networked everywhere. And up by 10. 27-17. Noah Miller off the inbounds. Noah Miller gets it back. Dribbles into the lane. Noah Miller kicks it. McKinney. Garnica's there. He's driving baseline. Trey strong. King Turner underneath. Loose ball. McKinney going strong. And good defense by Glendale. 27-17. Ken Carrillo and his team with a 10-point lead. Stephen Miller, left side of the arc, dumps it down to Conley. Conley, little head fake, working against Delinzak. Tries to find Kenny White cutting. Tight window. Coyotes going the other way. No Miller through the lane, and no Miller. And no Miller will go to the line and shoot a pair. That's the thing about Mason No Miller, so explosive. And the foul is going to be on Kenny White. That's his second. White with 12 points in this one. Memphis James about to check in as Kenny White's going to get a breather. Mason No Miller already 6 points. Misses on the front end. Mason, a 69% free throw shooter. Looks to connect on the second. And does so. Lead is 9 for Glendale. Coyotes doing a nice job defensively, just have to be better offensively. Memphis James for 3. Won't go, goes over the back of the backboard. 27-18. And Steve Shields vehemently calling for a timeout. A 30-second on the floor. Ernie Sands in Glendale. Women lost the matchup to Chandler-Gilbert. Chandler-Gilbert, their best conference home game of the year. And Steve Shields having a heated conversation with his team. And we can't stress enough, the Chandler-Gilbert basketball team, they've got no room for error. They're essentially in playoff mode, and they've got to take care of business. Once again, Pima 11-0, South Mountain 7-3, Glendale, Mesa, Scottsdale all 5-5, Chandler-Gilbert 3-7. Chandler-Gilbert wins today. They've got Phoenix College, which has not won a conference game on Wednesday. And then all of a sudden, Chandler-Gilbert is really in the mix for that potential 4th or 3rd playoff spot. It's all kind of fluid right now. King Turner, Garnica on him. No Miller in the corner. Stephen Miller. They swing it to King Turner. King Turner hard and gets the contact. Going to count the foul on Ty Gibbs. That's his first. King Turner going to the line. King, a 65% free throw shooter. Nine-point deficit for the Coyotes, and King cuts into that. His first point of the contest. Coyotes will love to see him going. Second leading scorer on the team, putting up almost 11 a game. Nails both. Now a 7-point game. Coyotes defensively doing a great job. Look, Glendale, they score 92 points a game. Stephen Miller, hard to the hole. Just a little off the roll. No Miller the other way. No Miller will not give it up. That time off the side of the backboard. Memphis James, Stephen Miller. He's got King Turner to beat. And Miller puts it back. Talk about toughness and following your shot. He's got 5 points. Averages 19 to lead the conference. Delinzak underneath, powering. And Bo won't go. No Miller among the trees. Mason Nomiller, he's got 9 points. And right now, Nomiller is doing his best to put the team on his shoulders. Conley, Memphis James. James, Garnica, who's been highly effective from 3 in this one. Conley behind the back. Conley, Stephen Miller. Miller going strong. Little pull up, and that's just too easy. Stephen Miller found his way and then squared up and got points number 6 and 7. 9-point lead. Coyotes in Glendale. The Gauchos trading baskets. McKinney, DeLinzak from the corner. Won't go, the airmail. DeLinzak almost got it back. Gibbs, full throttle. Works in the corner. Memphis James. James will pull up. James connects. Memphis James. His first bucket of the game. The lead is 11. This Glendale team answering all the runs by Chandler-Gilbert. No Miller to Carter Crabb, who's not gone on track. McKinney, long range 3. Airmails that one. Garnica. It's going to be Chandler-Gilbert basketball, and Garnica can't believe he didn't get the call. Timeout on the floor. 2:44 remaining in the half. Gauchos by 11. Time to feed your hunger. Glendale up 33-22 behind the hot shooting of Kenny White with 12 points. Stephen Miller, the conference's leading scorer, 19 a game, he's got 7. White, the third leading scorer, he's got 18. Or averages 18, he's got 12 in this one. Steve Shields and his team, they've played good defensively, they've got to be better offensively. Too many times they've been indecisive and required some last-second shooting as the shot clock has expired. 2:44 remaining in the half. They've done a good job defensively. Got to do a better job offensively. We'll see if we can get you a halftime box and kind of talk things through. Mario Chutanik and the women's coach. A stone's throw away. We'll see if we can get Mario at the half to talk about the women's big win today and their outlook going forward. Underneath, Carter Crabb powering and in. Carter's first bucket of the game. And the good move by Stephen Miller underneath. And Steve Shields and his team are seeing Stephen Miller get on track. Miller now with 9 points. Jonas Cederlund in the game. Carter Crabb dumped down low. Javen Price. Price. And Javen with the strong move. Javen, his second bucket of the game. 35-26. Now Steve Shields, the head coach of Chandler-Gilbert, looking for some stops from his team. Work down low. Loose ball. Good defense. Cederlund. Carter Crabb was there, had him for a split second. Javen will pull it out. In the contest, Yule Lamb. Lincoln Southwest, Nebraska. Cederlund for 3. Cederlund airballs that one. It's Glendale basketball. Ollie Hinder back in. Steve Shields on that sidelines for Chandler-Gilbert. Watching his team and trying to find the right nucleus, get the offense cooking. Conley, 18. Conley, couple dribbles in the lane against Ollie. Kai Hogan swings it back to Conley. Now Ty Gibbs will work it up top. 8 on the shot clock. Stephen Miller trying to set the screen. And a bailout foul by King Turner. That's a painful one with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Gibbs up top. Gibbs pulls it out. Works it over to Yul Lamb. Lamb loses the handle. Hinder comes up with it. Final 45 seconds of the first half. Javen Price up top. Ollie Hinder out of the post with Conley. Conley and Hinder. Big bodies out of the post. Javen underneath, and they're going to call the foul on Glendale. Ken Carrillo and his team can't believe it. And that's going to be the second on Ty Gibbs as Jaden Thompson from Mountain Ridge High School, hometown of Anchorage, Alaska, coming in. Cedarland's out. No Miller back in. Javen Price at the free throw line. Javen shooting 77%. One-on-one situation and hits on the first. Can't stress how big it is to connect on that first one-on-one. McKinney in, Ollie Hinder out. McKinney, No Miller, Price, King Turner, Carter Carab on the floor. Javen on the second. Does what he needs to do. It's back down to a 7-point lead for Glendale. Jaden Thompson handling the rock. Kai Hogan hustles for almost the errant pass. Yul Lamb. Yul Lamb down low, and Lamb banks it in. The mismatch, his first bucket of the game. 37-28. Coyotes can play for the final shot. Final 10 seconds. Need to get a good shot off. Worked in that corner. McKinney driving baseline. McKinney and the Thunder. Trey McKinney taking his vitamins and pounding the iron, and talk about a statement basket. And that gets Coyotes Nation going. And they have got some momentum as they end the half strong, pulling within 7. Trey McKinney high and hard with some big time hops. 37-30. We'll take a short time out from the Coyote Center. And now time to feed your hunger. Halftime from the Coyotes Center. Coyotes with a 7-point deficit against Glendale. Kenny White shooting lights out, 12 points for Glendale. Now we swing it back to the women. Chandler-Gilbert, an impressive performance, 85-40 over Glendale earlier in the day. Mario Trutanek, the head coach of the Coyotes. And Mario, for a team that has just lost some heartbreaking losses here on home court, to come out and arguably play your best game of the year and to kind of reset the ship for a possible playoff run. How big was this win today?
It was probably one of the best games we played in a long time in terms of our defense and our effort. The kids were on the floor a lot. They were rebounding. We talked a lot about this week about, the harder you play, the better you rebound, the more loose balls you get, the better you shoot. I think those things went hand in hand today. They made really a conscious effort to play very, very hard today, and that's why they played that. We've been talking about that for weeks. It's frustrating to see today and then a drop off from game to game. They just need to make a better effort of, hey, this is the level we need to play at every game.
You talk about playing at that level. It all starts with consistency and having balanced scoring. And today you got that. Maria Cristobal, a bolt of energy off the bench, and getting a start today, 20 points. Macy Johnson, 17 points. Addison will always punch that scoring column. Melanie Ortiz and Grace Schaff with 10 points apiece. Just how refreshing is it to see some production up and down the lineup when it seems like it's been Addison having to carry the load, and then finally today you get a bunch of people stepping up and delivering.
I think that's the way we play defense today. I think our defensive energy created offense today where people are touching the ball. We need to play more in a broken court kind of game. I think on Wednesday against Scottsdale, we had a broken court opportunities that we really didn't take advantage of. I think the more we're in that broken court where it's 4-on-4, 3-on-2, those kind of situations, we play better rather than playing in the half court all the time. And then once you start doing that in the broken court, I think they get better touches in the half court, then more confidence.
So Mario, big week this week. You get the win here, and then right in the standings, right above you, is Phoenix College. You got them on Wednesday on the road, and you lost a heartbreaker to them, double overtime here. Very emotional game, tempers flaring, and then, of course, South Mountain, a team that has struggled in this conference, has yet to win a conference game. But first and foremost, your thoughts of going on the road and taking care of business potentially against a Bears team that if you win and then you knock off South Mountain, you're right there.
So we talked about today's playoff started for us today. Every game is a playoff game at this point. And I told them this could be a huge advantage for us, treating every game like a playoff game. So we do make the playoffs. We've been doing it for 4 weeks where we go against a team that really hasn't played a meaningful game in a couple weeks. That could be our advantage. We need to build upon what we did today on Wednesday and not worry about anything else except just doing what we did today and build upon it on Wednesday. That's it.
And Mario, for you, I know the message is to play at a consistent high level, to bring the energy and emotion. And look, safe to say, I think as a course of a season, as a coach, you're a leader and you're always trying to get that message across. But safe to say, you like to think that at this point in the season, the girls have to understand their urgency when they step in that court Wednesday night against Phoenix College.
We've been talking about, hey, we've been 23 games into this. At this point, it's on the players to go on the court and do what they're supposed to do. At this point, we're not going to change a whole lot. We're not going to change our offense or defense or make tweaks here and there. It's just about playing hard when we step on the court. And they did that today, and they look a completely different team.
Yeah, they looked absolutely fantastic. They came out, and I want to give some props to Maria Cristobal, who knocked down that three right before the half. She had 20 points. She had 6 threes. And, Maria, ever since she stepped on the floor, she can handle the basketball. She hustles. She plays hard. I want to get your thoughts on what she's added to this team.
Whoever didn't get her off a red shirt earlier should be fired. She should have been off a red shirt weeks ago, and I was flirting with it right before Christmas. We see it in practice. She's probably arguably our second best player in practice. She can do a lot of stuff that Addie does. She gets in a little trouble because she kind of tries to do some stuff in high school that she could do, but not at this level. She needs to eliminate that stuff, but she's athletic. She can shoot the ball. She could beat you off the dribble. She's a good defender. She's just working on her confidence. She hasn't played it. She tore her knee literally a year ago. So I think she's just trying to get back in the swing of things.
For Grace Schaff today, Coach, Grace knocked down 10 points, and it seems like she had the luck of the gods. Everything around the rim dropped. I mean, everything wasn't pretty at times, but I was going to tell you, they all dropped, and she dropped, got into that double-digit scoring column. Your thoughts on her performance and giving us some production down in the blocks?
I'm a big believer the harder you work, the luckier you get. She's a great kid. She does everything you ask her to do on defense. She'll show on ball screens. She'll show and recover. She'll get a hand on the ball. She'll get a rebound. She does all the little things that you don't see in the stat sheet. So when she does it, like, she deserves everything she gets.
So Sunday, the girls get to rest their legs, hang out, do whatever, watch Netflix, maybe catch episodes of Breaking Bad. Monday, they're back at it. So give us kind of the message, Coach, when you get into Monday about, look, it's game week. It's time to step up the play and be ready, because I see Melanie Ortiz right behind us, as she talked about the intensity needed this week and the intensity that you preached to the girls this week. So give us kind of your thought process when you hit Monday, when they hit the practice court, what you're expecting and how that has got to carry over to Wednesday.
At this point, we talked about we got to do less talking and more doing. We just need to go on the court and show it every practice, every game. I keep telling them it's not a talent issue with this group. They're just as talented as anybody in this conference. You just need to put it together every single game, one game at a time. That's it.
There you go. That is Mari Trutanik, his team. Big win today, 85-40 over Glendale. They are on the road Wednesday in a big matchup against Phoenix College, 6-5 in conference. Coach, best of luck this week, and we'll see you next Saturday against South Mountain.
Thank you so much. Have a good week.
Mari Trutanik, the head coach of the women's basketball team. Glendale now on the court. We'll take a short time out from the Coyote Center. Second half coming up. Coyotes down by 7 against the Gauchos and Coach Ken Carrillo. Second half closing in about 75 seconds away as Coach Steve Shields and the Coyotes getting that halftime break. Mason No Miller with 9 points. Trey McKinney with 7. Javen Price with 6. Carter Carab with 4. On the other side for Glendale, Kenny White with 12 points. Stephen Miller with 9. Coyotes down by 7. Getting the big dunk from Trey McKinney to end the half, and that definitely gave them a spark. Now can they capitalize and handle a Glendale team that they lost to earlier in the season? A team that is currently tied for third place with Mesa and Scottsdale at 5 and 5. Of course, Pima rolling on top of the conference, and then it's from there, it's kind of a work in progress. And once again, we look at the conference: Pima 11-0, South Mountain 7-3, Glendale Mesa, Scottsdale 5-5, Chandler-Gilbert 3-7. So this one is huge. Chandler-Gilbert has done a good job. Glendale averages 92 points, only 37 in the first half. Scottsdale's just got to be better. Chandler-Gilbert has to be better offensively in the second half. Kenny White on that arc. White bounces down low to Stephen Miller. Miller kicks it. Garnica, a little head fake. Garnica, D'd up by Trey McKinney. Ty Gibbs, Kenny White. Kenny White will launch it from three. That's off the back end. McKinney rips it away from Conley. Good defensive sequence to start the second half. Carter Crab and Conley's right there. Javen Price up top. Garnica giving chase. Javen Price works that right side of the arc. The bounce to Carter. Carter, physicality. And Carter right into Conley, and Carter will shoot a pair. 4 first half points. And Conley with his second foul. Carter, good free throw shooter at 63%, misses the first. Coyotes looking to overcome a 7-point halftime deficit. Can they do enough offensively? And Carter misses on both. That's a painful way. Ty Gibbs. Gibbs, that first half knocked down to 3. Try to thread the needle. Kenny White to Conley down low. Now White and Conley have a conversation. Ken Carrillo rooting his team from the sidelines. No Miller and Javen Price in that backcourt. No Miller, 9 first half points. Javen with 6. McKinney tried to thread the needle. No Miller. Kenny White. White beats Trey McKinney. He's got 14 now. The lead is 9. McKinney, middle of the floor. No Miller. And Stephen Miller gets called for the kickball. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Javen Price will take it out of bounds. Ollie Hinder on that baseline right by him. They work it inside McKinney. McKinney can't get it. Javen Price follows it, and Javen muscles in among the trees. He's got 8 points. 39-32 as Ken Carrillo shouting for his team to grab a rebound in that possession. Conley, Ollie Hinder out of the block. Stephen Miller in the lane. They work it back to Conley. Garnica, head fake, Garnica. Garnica gets locked up. Shot from the outside. Rebound by McKinney. No Miller. Gibbs. No Miller. Will swing it. And now it's kicked back to Javen. 19 on the shot clock. Hinder out of the post. Miller in front of him. Ollie to Javen. Javen, elbow. And Javen, good from the outside. He's got 10 points. Good to see Javen get on track. The lead is down to 5. Conley and Kenny White. Kenny White thought about it. Kenny White works off Conley. Ty Gibbs, Stephen Miller. Gibbs, he's got Kenny White in the corner. And they call the foul on Javen Price. Steve Shields on that sidelines. Malachi Garnica. Conley, so effective down low. Gibbs. And Gibbs draws contact. Trey McKinney, that's going to be his second foul. Trey, 7 points, that big thunderous dunk to end the first half. Gibbs at the line. Ty Gibbs. 69% free throw shooter. 4th point of the contest. Every time Chandler-Gilbert gets close, Glendale manages to scratch and claw and extend. Connects on 1 and 2. Coyotes with a chance to draw closer. Javen and now McKinney racing across. Ollie Hinder out of the post. Ollie gives it to No Miller. No Miller trying to get in the lane, almost lost the handle. Plenty of time on the shot clock, down to 10. Ollie down in the box. No Miller cutting, spin move, and the great cut by Mason No Miller. He's got 11, it's a 4-point game. Garnica, other way, and Malachi Garnica doing things from long range. He's got 8 points. Just like that, Glendale answers right back. Carter Crabb down in the post. McKinney on that left arc. Gibbs is there. They kick it, and that is thrown away. King Turner back in the game. Steve Shields on that sidelines. Pacing and trying to find the right answers. Final 16 and change. Coyotes down by 7. Conley up top, fires it down, and a fastball right through the hands, through the wickets of Kenny White. White, 14 points, 12 in the first half, a bucket off that fast break layup earlier to start this second half. Coyotes, can they overcome this deficit? Glendale has found answers every time the Coyotes have drawn close. King Turner to Javen Price. King up top in the orange shoes. Javen left arc. Javen, Gibbs is there. Javen, quick first step. Works it back to King Turner. 5 on the shot clock. Javen the floater, and Javen gets it to go. He's got 12 points. 5-point lead. Good to see Javen getting on track. Labored last couple home games. Kenny White. They work to Stephen Miller down low. And Miller, basket and one. Stephen Miller, man-sized move. And the foul's on Javen Price. And Stephen Miller now with 11 points. Timeout on the floor, 7-point lead. Time to feed your hunger. Seven-point Glendale lead, 15-48. Stephen Miller now with 11 points, leads the conference at 19 a game. Kenny White, third in the conference with 14 on the other side. Javen Price getting on track. He has got 12. No Miller with 11. Coyotes doing a good job defensively. Can they get enough offensively? Can they share the love? Can they get the productivity needed? Steve Shields and his team talking things through. Back on the floor, Conley, Stephen Miller, Ty Gibbs, Kenny White, Malachi Garnica, Hinder, Crabb, King Turner, Javen Price, Mason No Miller. Stephen Miller at the line for the shot at the three-point play. 45-38. Miller having a great year and cans the three-point play. 8-point lead. Once again, Glendale has an answer. 8-point advantage for the Gauchos. Javen Price guarded by Garnica. No Miller on that left side. Gets it to Hinder, and Hinder cross court. Carter. Carter picked up by Conley. Javen, the roll to Carter Crabb underneath, and Carter, tough, strong move, and he's got 6 points. 46-40. Now can Chandler-Gilbert come up with a couple stops? Kenny White underneath, and How about Kenny White underneath looking for a call that he was hoping to get? No Miller against Kenny White. And Mason No Miller, full throttle, electric move, and it's going to be a foul on Kenny White, and that's his third, as No Miller will go to the line. 1 of 2 from the free throw stripe today. No Miller, a 68% free throw shooter. Big free throw. Kenny White in, Memphis James. Keep that Kenny White out, Memphis James in. No Miller. Looking to knock down the second one and bring the Coyotes once again within 4. Now it's about stops and productivity. Gibbs and Conley. Conley up top, Hinder right there. Gibbs works off a screen, try to get Miller cutting down low. Now the dump down underneath. Bad pass. No Miller. And No Miller draws the contact, and Conley will pick it up. Caleb Conley, that's his third. Mason No Miller, 2 shots at the line. And Ken Carrillo couldn't believe that pass on that previous offensive possession. No Miller. Missed some games early in the season because of a lower body injury. Healthy as Delinzak and McKinney coming back in. Hinder, Crab out. No Miller. King Turner, Javen Price also on the floor. No Miller with a shot to make it a 2-point game. Now it's a 3-point game. Connecting on 1 and 2. No Miller now with 14. Malachi Garnica. He has shown the ability to stroke the 3. Can't leave him a lot of space. Memphis James worked it. Stephen Miller for 3. Out of the zip code, can't connect. Mason No Miller. No Miller right there. Stephen Miller right in front of him. They swing it to Javen Price. McKinney, other side. They kick it to King. King, fast move, and King misses the jam at the rim, and Kobe Mott coming in, and King Turner checking out. And Steve Shields having a moment with King Turner after that basket was lost, that opportunity. 46-43. King Turner, if you brought that one down, then all of a sudden this gym explodes. Garnica the other way, and Garnica finally misses from 3. Javen Price, he's got Garnica right in front of him. Spin move by Javen. High off the glass, won't go. Loose ball. Javen Price battling underneath. Coyotes, Delinzak is there. Delinzak going up and in. Bo Delinzak, and the lead is down to 1. Coyotes strong. Stephen Miller, the bank. And we got a timeout on the floor by Ken Carrillo. Miller now with 14 points. The lead is 3. We'll take a timeout as well. Coyotes trailing by 3. 15:07 in this second half. Now a conversation ensues between a couple of the referees and Kyle Miller and Brady Barrett. Stephen Miller, Ty Gibbs working the out of bounds. Garnica, Memphis James, as well as Ulrich Jamerson in the front court. Garnica hit some big shots. Memphis James has provided some touch from the outside. Miller exploding in the lane. Miller will go to the line. Stephen Miller played his high school ball at Liberty in the West Valley. In that surprise area, a freshman, 195, 6'5", moves well, has the ability to drive. Good touch around the rim. And knocks down the first free throw. He has 15 points. Slow start, and he's picked it up. And Miller knocks one or two. They're going to call the foul on Jamerson on the loose ball. Ulrich Jamerson, that's his first. 49-45, 12:49 left. Javen Price up the floor. Trey McKinney working off Ty Gibbs. Mason Nomiller. Good rotation by Glendale. Swung in a corner. King Turner, the dump down. Dolinzik, and Dolinzik gets this soft roll. 4 points, 2-point game. Jamerson to Memphis James. Dolinzik is there. Off balance, and James strokes it. Memphis James, his first bucket of the second half. He's got 4 points. No Miller inside. Good touch, and Dolinzik off the good feed from Trey McKinney. Dolinzik with 6 second period points for Bo Dolinzik. Jamerson dumps it down to Stephen Miller. Almost the near steal. Ty Gibbs, baseline, works it back out to Jamerson. Miller driving. He'll stop and pull up. And nice touch by Stephen Miller. (53-49). Trey McKinney inside. And McKinney gets hacked by Memphis James. First for Memphis James, timeout on the floor. Coyotes trailing by 4 with 11:26 remaining in the second half as Kenny White and Conley about to check back in. 14 points. He's feeling it in this one. Kenny White back in the game. Kenny lost the handle. King Turner. Coyotes with a chance to tie or take the lead. Javen Price. King Turner might have gotten away with a travel. Dolinzik down in the blocks. Kenny White there trying to front Dolinzik. King Turner left arc. Kai Hogan, now it's No Miller. No Miller, electric first step. The kick in the corner. Carter for three. Carter off the iron. Conley with a rebound. Worked quickly up to Ty Gibbs. Gibbs kicks it. Kai Hogan, head fake. Conley, head fake. Ty Gibbs will show it up from the outside, and Gibbs knocks down the jumper. He's got 6 points. The lead is back to 5. Glendale finding answers. King Turner. And they're going to call the foul on Anthony Maciel. So you got to applaud the effort by Ken Carrill's team. Every time the Coyotes get close, Glendale finds a bucket or a stop. Dolinzik, No Miller out. McKinney, Ollie Hinder in. King Turner at the line. King, a 65% free throw shooter. And King misses the 1-and-1. And it's going the other way. And Steve Shields having a conversation with Carlos Felix. 56-51, 10:01 left. Ty Gibbs and Glendale winning that battle on the baseline. Coyotes have been on the doorstep numerous times. And every time Glendale has found an answer. Gibbs up top. Gibbs driving. Gibbs works it to Kai Hogan. Kai Hogan. 5 on the shot clock. Kenny White long range, and that's off the front end. Carter Carab kicks it to Javen Price. Javen in the lane. Javen going strong, and Javen blocked by Kai Hogan. And Glendale wondering where that call's from. Hogan with his first foul. Javen at the line. Javen with 14 points. No Miller with 14 points. Javen having a nice contest and misses the first. Steve Shields looking up at the scoreboard. 9:24 left. His team, margin of error for the playoffs, slim. It's a game they got to have down the stretch. They can beat everyone in the conference depending on that day. And Conley banks it in. And once again, it's some breathing room for Glendale. Back up 6. Conley, his second bucket, he's got 4. 9 minutes left in this one. King Turner works to the top of the key. McKinney and Kenny White switches to McKinney. Javen Price now sees Kenny White. McKinney. King Turner for 3. That's long, and Anthony Maciel is there. Ty Gibbs up the floor. Gibbs will launch it from 3. And good look by Gibbs. Rolls off. Javen Price and the Coyotes the other way. Javen, good crossover, little spin. Won't go. King Turner down in the baseline, comes up with it. Coyotes can reset with a fresh 20. Now down to 10. Ollie Hinder, Conley on him. Works it inside to McKinney. Mismatch. And a foul against Glendale. And Carlos Felix will have the call. Going to be on Caleb Conley. That's going to be his 4th. 58-52. McKinney at the line. Trey with 7 points. Nice smooth stroke on the first attempt. Trey, almost a 70% free throw shooter. McKinney, Hinder, Karab, No Miller, and Javen Price in the backcourt. McKinney looking for the clean sweep at the line. And pulled down by Kai Hogan. 58-53. Ken Carrillo shouting for his team to get a loose ball. Kenny White right there. Kenny White. Miller almost lost his balance, and Kenny White gets it back. Works to the left arc. Gibbs penetrating deep. Jamerson blocked underneath. Jamerson going back up, and Jamerson tough among the trees. Elric Jamerson. His first bucket of the game, a big one. The lead back to 7. No Miller, left side. Javen Price, McKinney. Worked, Javen Price for 3. That won't go, nowhere close. Stephen Miller, up the floor. Kick to the right side. And knocked away. Javen Price thought he had the foul. It's going the other way instead. Media timeout. Glendale answering the bell, up by 7 with 7:18 remaining in the second half. Right to his left. Elric Jamerson on the floor, number 23, coming up with a big basket short time ago among the trees. Stephen Miller driving with a purpose. Miller banks it off the glass. 18 and counting. And the lead is back to 9. Glendale. Gotta love their determination here. They have really found answers. Plenty of time left for the Coyotes to make a run. McKinney, a little bump by Gibbs. Trey McKinney. Kenny White there. Jamin is there. Kicks it back out to No Miller. No Miller. A little spin. And they're going to say Glendale wanted the travel. No Miller. The refs say it's tipped. Garnica back the other way. And Garnica has the answer. And that's the kind of day it's been for Glendale. They have had the answer for the Coyotes every single time. 6:20 and counting. No Miller. And back to Jamin Price, kicked over. Trey McKinney, top of the arc. Ollie Hinder underneath. Ollie. Bounce pass to Jamin. Jamin on the floor will pull up, and Jamin. A loose ball foul underneath on Carter Karab. Fouls on Malachi Garnica. Garnica's been great in this one. He's got 10 points. He's got a nice shooting touch. Carter at the line. 6 points. 0-2 from the last time at the free throw line. And Carter looking for a clean sweep and connects on both. Carter now with 8 points. Lead is 7 for Glendale. 6 minutes left. The dump down and the steal. Bad pass by Stephen Miller. No Miller trying to force the tempo. And Stephen Miller looking at the referee like, I did not even touch him. It's going to be a foul on Miller. That's his first. No Miller at the line. 3 of 6 from the free throw line today. 64-57. Misses on the first. No Miller with 16 points. Javen Price with 15. 17 and counting for Mason. Ty Gibbs up top to Stephen Miller. Worked over to Malachi Garnica. Garnica, some space, and they close in quickly. Ty Gibbs on that left arc. Garnica up top. He works it to Kenny White. Kenny White, little head fake. White trying to get in the lane. Little step back, and Kenny White, soft touch, and buries it. He has 14, make that 16 points. The lead is 8 for Glendale. Steve Shields on that sidelines. Trey McKinney. Take that. King Turner in, and Carter's soft touch won't go. The putback by Mason No Miller and one. No Miller plays so much bigger than his 6'1" frame. He can sky and now has a shot at the three-point play. He's got 19 points. No Miller looking to complete the three-point play and bring the Coyotes back within 5. Does just that. Final 5 minutes of this one. A good one between two long-time Arizona Community College Athletic Conference rivals. Stephen Miller, good defense by King Turner. Miller, little step back. And Stephen Miller's got a really nice touch about 10 feet out. He squares up, he nails that shot. I thought Stephen Miller was all slash and dash, but he gets a good look from 10, 15 feet out, he can nail it. Foul's going to be on Malachi Garnica. Delinzik at the line as Glendale coaching staff complaining about the foul disparity in this one. Glendale with 10 team fouls, Chandler-Gilbert with only 5. Delinzik misses both. Huge misses at the line. Stephen Miller, 20 points, finds Jamerson. Going to call a blocking foul against the Coyotes. Delinzik, that's his third. 68-61. Now starting to get in crunch mode in this one. 4:31 left. Ali Hinder going to check in. Delinzik checking out. Steve Shields giving Delinzik some good words of encouragement. King Turner. And Stephen Miller again delivers. And Stephen Miller has taken control. Miller had 9 points at the half. 14 second half points as King Turner will go out. Trey McKinney back in. And Stephen Miller, the league's leading scorer, nails the three-point play. He's been special on his way to a big game. The lead is 10. Huge three-point play by Stephen Miller. Javen Price on the cross court from Carter Carab. No Miller down low. No Miller in the lane. No Miller works it underneath and gets it to drop. Mason No Miller. He's got 22 points. Trying to match Stephen Miller. Now it's Miller trying to impose as well, and he'll go to the line. The foul will be on Carter Carab down in the blocks. His first. Timeout on the floor. Coyotes getting in desperation mode. Trailing by 8 with 3:48 left. (71-63). Coyotes trailing by 8, 3:48 left. And Stephen Miller, 9 points at the half. Well, he's dialed it up. I have him for 24 points. And No Miller's got 22 for Chandler-Gilbert. Kenny White, 14. As it's Miller at the line for the shot at the three-point play. Freshman. And I stand corrected. He'll shoot a pair here after getting hacked. Miller with 25 points. And make that 26. It's been outstanding in the second half. 73-63. Lead is 10 for Glendale. Javen Price and No Miller, they have brought the goods. Now the Coyotes need some shooting touch from 3. They got to be able to knock down some triples to get back in this one. Carter Carab on that baseline fights his way and keeps it alive for Chandler-Gilbert. 12 on the shot clock. 3:29 left. Javen Price looking for a wide open Ollie Hinder and has him. Ollie gets the floater to go. Only his second basket of the game. 8-point game. Malachi Garnica, Stephen Miller, and Kenny White. What a tremendous 1-2 combination. They try to thread the needle to Miller. The turnover by Kenny White. No Miller trying to take this one over. Kenny White gets it back. White. Ty Gibbs will launch it from 3, and Gibbs connects, and that is a big-time dagger right there. Gibbs the other way. His second 3 of the game. He's got 9 points. The league leader in assists at 6 a game. Coyotes need a lot of points and a lot of stops. And the question is, can they contain Stephen Miller down the stretch? 6 on the shot clock. And the turnover as they were looking for Trey McKinney down low. Kenny White kicked in the corner. And we got a 30-second timeout on the floor before Kenny White was going to take that shot. Possession will be Glendale. 30 seconds for Steve Shields and his team to talk things over. (76-65), Coyotes have to utilize every second. They need stops, they need threes, they need big baskets. Javen Price kicks it. Shot is up, won't go. Over the backboard. 2:10 left. And Glendale can take its time. Glendale, they've had the answer. They've gotten good shooting from role players like Malachi Garnica. He's come in and knocked down 10 points. And then, of course, their heavy hitters, Kenny White, 14, and Stephen Miller, the league's leading scorer with 26. Conley. And Conley, top 5 in efficiency in the conference, over 60%. He nails one down the lane. Wild pass won't go, and Glendale will take their time for a split second. Ty Gibbs in that corner. Glendale up 13. And they're going to keep the ball in their guards' hands, and Garnica driving Garnica. And they're going to call that a goaltending call. And Garnica now with 12 points. Tremendous effort on his end. And the Coyotes will come to the bench and talk things through. Glendale has come to town with a purpose. They led at the half by 7. $1:16 remaining. They lead by 15. Ken Carrillo and the Gauchos as the Bee Gees over the sound system. And right now, Glendale staying alive for a playoff position, on the verge of improving to 6-5 in league. And the Coyotes on the verge of dropping to 4, make that 3-8 in conference. Here we go. Final $1:16 as Javen trying to save some time on the roll-in. Javen gets it back. No Miller. Almost a steal by Gibbs. Javen down the lane. Javen high off the glass. Won't go. McKinney puts it in. Another timeout on the floor. McKinney now with 10 points. We have a 30-second timeout by Chandler-Gilbert. And once again, the Bee Gees jamming. Plenty of action going around in the conference today. On the men's side, this is just one of several contests going on today. Scores around the league. Central Arizona losing to Eastern Arizona 97-76. Arizona Western leading Cochise 105-82. Pima going to pick up another win, leading Mesa 85-67 in the second half. Yavapai, Southern Nevada, South Mountain, Scottsdale still to come. Other side, Malachi Garnica. Poise, and Glendale will just hold on to it. Kenny White. Stephen Miller. Kenny White in the lane, and Kenny loses the handle. Final 36.4 seconds left. And Chandler-Gilbert coming off the impressive win against Scottsdale as McKinney launches one. Rolls around the rim, and arguably the best player in the conference. Almost fitting that he comes up with a rebound. But they're going to say it's going to be a foul. Bo Dolinsik checking back in. Coyotes are going to drop to 3-8, 12-11 overall. Glendale will improve to 15-7, 6-5 in league. Coming up for the Coyotes on Wednesday, they'll take on Phoenix College, and Saturday they'll have South Mountain right here. So still a lot of basketball left to be played, but no question this one hurts. This one, a win, would have put them right on the door for that potential 4th spot. And the way the standings are, so tight. Mesa, Glendale, Scottsdale, all in 3rd place at 5-5. And a win for the Coyotes today would have put them at 4-7 in conference on the outskirts. Now they're going to drop to 3-8 in league. And the starting unit, which is one that can score and score well, 2nd leading scoring team in the conference at 92 points a game. They won't get 92, but they put up another 80, and they knock off Chandler-Gilbert for the 2nd time this season. And Miller with the steal, and Glendale's going to dribble it out. And that is going to do it. Glendale comes to town, and they get it done impressively. Ken Carrillo and his team. 15-7 now, 6-5 in conference, and their leading scorer, Stephen Miller.